In this snippet, we'll take a look at adding ordered lists and unordered lists to our web page. Now this is the file from the previous snippet, and what I'm going to do is space down and actually add some content for my list. And what I'm going to type in is some interesting facts about the Constitution. Alright, first fact that I'm going to add in is the total word count is 4,440 words. I also want another interesting fact. It is the shortest constitution of any country in the world. Also, the word Pennsylvania was misspelt in the Constitution. Also, I had one more interesting fact, and that is James Madison is considered to be the father of the U.S. Constitution. Alright, so there's 4 facts for us to work with. What I'd like to do is actually take this content and actually make it into a list. Now, the 2 choices I have to choose from are ordered lists and unordered lists. And the difference between an ordered list and an unordered list is that an ordered list is going to have numbers, which signify that this one comes first, then the next, and so forth. Kind of like a recipe that you would follow. You do not want a recipe to be out of order when you're mixing ingredients, and so in that case you would want something that's in an ordered list. This is the first, then the second, and then the third. Whereas an unordered list really just lists the items, and it does not necessarily have to be in a particular order, and the default symbol that we're going to see for that one is going to be just a bullet. So you will not see numbers used, you'll see bullets for an unordered list. So as we construct this, I'm going to go ahead and choose File, Save, and just to show you what we've got so far in our content, when I refresh this web page, you'll see there we go, some interesting facts about the Constitution, and there are my facts. And if you remember in the past snippet, the text will just wrap around my web page, depending on the size of my web page, just because of the fact that we do not have it formatted. So what we're going to do is add some formatting tags. Some interesting facts about the Constitution is a great place to maybe possibly put a heading in. And if you see here, I've got a heading 2 for the preamble of the United States Constitution, so I'm going to choose the next one in order, which is going to be heading 3, which is a little bit smaller in size than the heading 2, but it should signify to the viewer of my web page that this is a heading. And now what I need to do is, and I'll go ahead and choose File, Save, so you can see the changes that applies to my web page. I'll refresh that. So there we go, some interesting facts about the United States Constitution. What I'm going to do is each one of these lines of text need to be a item or bulleted item. And how we start a list is basically we need to start the actual list tag. We need to choose if it's going to be an ordered list or an unordered list. And I'm going to choose the wrong list, which is going to be an ordered list for this content. So I've got the ordered list, and then I'm going to close the ordered list after the text. Now what this does is it just lets the web browser know that we've got a list started. What I need to do is I need to place a list item or the actual number or the bullet, depending on what type of list I'm using, where I want one to begin, or what amount of text needs to fall within the actual bullet or number. So how we do that is each one of these lines of code are going to be a list item. So this first one, the total word count is 4,440 words. I'm going to actually do a list item tag, which is the li tag, and then close it. There we go. So what we've done is we've signified to the browser that we've got an order list started, and this is going to be one of my items on the ordered list. Now here we go with the second item. I'm going to choose the li tag again, and then close the li tag. And I'm going to go ahead and save it so that you can see how the content appears so far. There we go, we've got our order list started, and you can see we've got a number 1 because it is an ordered list. And I've got the total word count as 4,440 words, and then the second list item begins here. Now I do not have a third or fourth one listed yet, so what I will need to do is come back to my code and type in the li tag again, close the li tag, and then apply my last list item, close that. Alright, I'll choose File Save, and then refresh my page. So now I've got the 4 list items on my actual web page, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's an ordered list. If I wanted to, and I looked at this and said, you know, I did not want an ordered list, all I wanted were bullets to list some of the interesting facts, I did not need them numbered, then what I would have wanted is an unordered list. And if you take a look here, I have the OL, which signifies it as an ordered list. And what I would need to do is change the O to a U, so the tag is called a UL, and then come down here and close the UL tag. So what I've done is I've changed it from an ordered list now to an unordered list. I need to hit save, File Save, come back to my browser and refresh it, and now you'll see that I've got bullets rather than numbers. So that's the difference between the ordered list and the unordered list. Common mistakes that I've seen would be if I forgot to maybe close the tag, something similar to this. Let's say I was typing fast and I forgot to close the tag. You may see some errors as you go through. I'll choose File Save for some troubleshooting, and you'll notice that this isn't the way it should have looked, what's going on here. So what you'll need to do is pay particular attention to your tags, and so I'm going to close that again, and make sure that you have proper beginning and closing tags for each one of your tags. I've also seen, instead of LI, I've seen IL as a closing or a beginning tag, and so the bullets don't necessarily work correctly or the way that the person had intended for them to appear on the web page. So just pay particular attention to these list items, as well as deciding whether or not you want an unordered list or an ordered list to your web page.